But you might want to go on home now because I'm here. No, stay, because we're going to need a few extras in the video.
Hello! Welcome to UPRE, otherwise known as Unpopular Review Entertainment. I'm your host, Leather Weather. And tonight, we're reviewing BAPS, also known as Black American Princesses. I have with me none other than Mike Knox.
Hey, good people. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Now, this is your first time seeing the whole movie all the way through, or
no? In general.
In general, you haven't even seen a little snippet of a piece of a little.
Man,
piece
I mean,
of
of course,
bit.
I've seen. Well, no, I've watched. Trailers, and no. As soon as I see it, I turn it just like a Bullworth.
Racism. We also have with us tonight Vic, who, if he says the exact same thing, I swear to God. How you doing, Vic?
Chilling here with my Babs.
Yo, if y'all don't say this movie title right, I swear, like, it's been over a decade, almost two. Has it been two?
Came out in 1997.
It's been 2 decades. Y'all still are saying this incorrectly. I'm amazed and shocked. It's BAPS, because princesses starts with a P. But anyway, how you doing tonight? Have you seen this movie before?
No. Never saw this until now.
Christ. Now let me say this, guys, because
racist.
I mean, look, it's been quite a few weeks or months even since I've called y'all sexist, because y'all haven't really demonstrated that behavior. But I have to say, tonight you're really like going for the gold here.
This is just the fact that we'll talk about the movie. It's why I never saw the movie.
All right, well, here we go. So I'm going to get into why I chose this movie for this month's theme, which is buddy flicks, buddy films, buddy movies. First and foremost, because I feel like, honestly, guys in Hollywood dominate this genre. And as you guys know, this movie is over 2 decades old, so it kind of spearheaded the idea of this. I can say Thelma and Louise maybe, but for Black women, there's not a lot of times that you get to see a rags to riches story. And what can make a Cinderella story even better? Making her Black. What can make a Black Cinderella story even better? Making her make it with her best friend. So that's why I chose this movie. I was 8 years old when it came out. I've probably watched it a dozen million cotillion times. And honestly, it's just, it's one of those, a movie I would say is a cult classic, is a Black American classic in my mind, being a Black woman, Black American woman. And despite not being from the dirty, dirty South, I still can appreciate the cultural phenomenon that this movie spearheaded. Now, let me just go into the synopsis. Waitresses at a Decatur restaurant, Niecy, played by Halle Berry, and Mickey, played by Natalie Desselle, decide to fly to Los Angeles for a music video audition in order to raise money for their dream project, which is a business that combines soul food dining with a hair salon. Circumstances eventually find the Southern ladies on the estate of Mr. Blakemore, an elderly millionaire. Despite their vast cultural differences, Niecy and Mickey form close bonds with Mr. Blakemore and his butler. Now, that kind of gives us a general overview of the plot of the film, but there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie. First and foremost, I have to say about this movie, like I said, it came out when I was 8 years old. Despite the random cuss words laced here and there randomly, they're still few and far in between, so this still feels like a family film to me. It's still watched like a family film to me today. And like I said, it's a Cinderella story, rags to riches story, with two best friends, and they're both girls, and they happen to be Black as well. For me, it's very impactful, and I think culturally speaking, it's still a very impactful movie because, number one, the fashions of this movie, the fashions, the styling. Ruth Carter was the costume designer. You might know her works from pretty much, I'm not going to say every Spike Lee film, but a whole rack of them. Most notably School Days, Black Panther, I would say, is one of her more prominent recent films. But the costumes, the wardrobe for this film were really impactful to a young Black girl like me who aspired to a more opulent and luxurious lifestyle, as many young girls do. But to be able to see women that looked like me living this lifestyle and being able to dream big and aspire for more for themselves, what really captured me, is captivating for me, and still honestly is impactful for me today. If you've if you do appreciate fashion and design and what's the Black girl luxury aesthetic, then you'll still appreciate this movie today, because you will see some of these fashions are still hidden. You'll still see some of the fashions that you've seen in this movie in Vogue today, in Paper Magazine, in music videos today. Like this, the impact that Ruth Carter has with these girls. Not only that, these girls were average girls. You know, they both had big dreams, both very talented, underinvested in, both hardworking, both truly wanting more for themselves and knowing that they deserve more despite their circumstance. That was very impactful to me growing up. That was very like, I know what I want for myself, but I deserve it too, you know? And I am going to put myself in whatever circumstance I can in order to obtain that. Obviously not to a detriment to myself, but to get myself there. I will do what I have to do. And while there was some originally delusional aspirations that got the plot kicking in this movie, them hoping to be in a music video with absolutely no dance training, right? They fly to LA on a wing and a prayer, pretty much admit later on in the movie that they've lost their apartment. They don't have jobs to return to. But they fly to LA. They want to be in a Heavy D video. There's this huge casting call. And it's even to the point that they get there. First of all, they're on the flight and they're wearing these patent leather hot tail outfits. And it's like, I know this is hot to wear in Decatur. It's going to be even hotter to wear in LA. There's just a complete disregard for practicality, which I can also appreciate as a woman, because or as the type of woman that I am. I like fashion and the concepts, the high concepts of this film is very original, and you'll see in a City Girls music video today, you've seen these two girls get cosplayed again and again and again. Like, you see celebrities dress up as them again and again and again on Halloween. If you're scrolling on Instagram, you're gonna see these girls. Like, the impact of that this film has. They get to LA and immediately they get caught up in a scam, as one does in LA. But because they're both very genuine and I feel like have a high level of integrity inherently, their hearts are like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to play these roles in order to make this older gentleman feel good. This is last 2 weeks of his life, apparently. His nephew's like, reaches out to them and says, hey, can you pretend to play the granddaughter of his long lost Black love, right? Holly accepts, played by, Niecy accepts, played by Halle Berry, and Mickey accepts as well. And that's the reason that they go for it. Now, they're offered 10 grand a piece, which is another aspect of it. But the reason that they accept, even though they realize it's not going to be in a nationally syndicated music video that they were originally pitched, the reason that they agree is because it touches their heart. The story touches their heart. They're like, we're gonna give this older gentleman the most wonderful last couple weeks of his life. Like, we're gonna make him feel good and loved, and remind him of the long lost love that he had in that black lady, Lily. And we're gonna, play our part and get a check in the end. I don't want to give too much of it away in case you guys want to incorporate aspects of the way that this plays out in your review, but I guess I've given kind of my full tea of why I love this film still.
I guess that's me.
Sure.
Never watched this movie before today. Never wanted to watch this movie. Never cared about watching this movie. Watched this movie and was like, why am I watching this movie? These are reasons why I love UPRE, Unpopular Review Entertainment. Because I would see a trailer that showed me stuff like this.
But you might want to go on home now because I'm here. No, stay, because we're going to need a few extras in the video. Excuse me. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yeah. Yeah.
And never did I want to see this movie ever. And then I see this scene. I'm going, all right, this movie's really stupid first. So like, it starts off, all right, may my man rest in peace, Ezekiel, because so many people in this movie's not alive anymore. Bernie Mac's not with us anymore, right? Nally, the girl, that's my girl. She's not with us anymore. Anthony Johnson, who plays James, he, the other boyfriend, not with, it's just this movie. My man Martin, who plays Mr. Donald, I've only known him for playing an Entourage. Okay, it's been the guy that gets on Ari nerves because he's an old head and he messes up a movie for Vinny Chase. But I gotta say, I really do. And like watching reviews, I don't know so many people who watch this movie, but I like doing stuff like this. So I go back, I look. Critics high score. Well, review audience. Let me rephrase that because critics don't know nothing. The audience give it great reviews. And you're right. Every time you turn around, they are a cultural phenomenon. They're you see them Halloween, you see them. And I should have known better when I saw that the cast of this movie, even back in 97. Maybe I think back then I was thugging. All right. So me and the movies, not too much in between there. If I saw a good movie, it had to be some action, something like that. Out there doing them streets. But they say gangsters don't die, they get fat and move to Miami. I just don't live in Miami. I live in Florida. So that's the case of this matter. So I'm watching this film and I'm just like, Halle Berry ain't never give us a bad role. Even her bad roles are good roles because and this is young Halle. All right. Like this is like right before Boomerang or right after Boomerang, I think. I think it's right after Boomerang.
Yeah, I think so.
And Natalie, this gets funny. I didn't know, that just overall, this movie was good from the standpoint of the comedy in it, the fashion, which back then in 97 I couldn't appreciate today, shall I say, right? Growing up in a homophobic Tennessee world we live in, you know what I mean? I thought this movie was just not for straight men. I still don't really think it's for straight men, and it's okay with that. Hollywood did a good job with that. They made, as you said, or you're on this side, they made something that's for women, and that's okay. I mean, hell, I've seen Sex and the City movie, because I had a girl. You know what I mean? But girl that took me to go see this, I might have got on the BAPS bandwagon sooner. I ain't gonna let the name yell at me. But the question is, though, as I review this movie, is it a good movie or a bad movie? And I'll say that. Vic, your thoughts on this movie, sir?
Well, this is the first time that I saw this movie, and it was interesting because I've never seen Halle Berry be hood before. Outside of Strictly Business, which was a little bit, but not this much. You know what I mean? I was shocked to see her with a gold tooth.
But she didn't even act hood in Strictly Business, though.
No, bitch,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because usually
Street.
she's very refined.
Street. Yeah.
She's very, like, posh. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's Storm. You know what I'm saying?
Very bad
like
storm, Bill. Let's not say
yeah, but still, like you could tell like she was just like, you know what I mean. So with this movie, it was interesting because um the whole movie just says this to me. The fact that Heavy D was centered around this whole thing was pretty hilarious. Why? Because long story short, a guy loses his girl for being a bum. She runs away, and then Alfred, shout out to Alfred. You know what I mean? He comes through like the closer and brings them back together and helps the guy get his stuff together and then get his girl back. But and the whole thing was like I felt like this song pretty much just speaks to this movie. You know what I mean? Because she loved him from the beginning. She went running around looking for something better, but she loved him from the beginning. And the end just ended up going right back to him. Not everything that happened in between was pretty cool because, they found a way of making they found a nice little hustle. But then they got to know this guy. You know what I mean? They gave him some soul food, they gave him some culture.
that's all he needs.
They
Get that
gave
man
him
some soul
I
food. That's
mean
the
no, but I
problem.
mean like basically
He ain't
what
got
they
no
did is
food
just
in him.
that.
He needs some soul.
No, but the thing about it is just that like when you got money like that, you can't trust nobody. You really can't trust nobody. One of my favorite parts was when they ripped the check, and then he was just like, "Wow, ever since then, you're the only people that I trust." And mind you, these were people that he just met because the guys, somebody that age, they're so used to everybody always trying to hustle them, whether it's family, whether it's something like that. It's kind of like you're like when we go back home, and then everybody's just like, "Oh, you my cousin from this and this and that. Can you send me an iPhone?" Type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where he really just appreciated them for being them. And mind you, the thing that I appreciated the most is that he didn't reveal it. His lawyer revealed it. He knew the whole time that it was bullshit. He knew the whole time that it was BS. Why? Because Lily never had a child. You know what I mean? That's probably something that his nephew didn't know. But the one thing that I was curious about, and I don't know if it was in the version that I saw, because truth be told, I had to see like clips on YouTube because I couldn't find the movie. Um, at the end, when the lawyer was speaking, I was curious to see what the stepson ended up getting. Was it his stepson or his nephew or whatever he was? I was curious to see
Nephew.
what he was. I was curious to see what he would get because
Nephew. The
huh?
presumption it was his nephew. The presumption is he doesn't get anything because by then they realized he was already trying to scam him out of his money,
But
or at least out of power of attorney.
I did find it odd how, like, at that moment they queued the music up and then kind of like silenced the lawyer, because you definitely like you could see what she was saying in her mouth and all of that, but like I don't know if that was the version that I was watching or
The movie, that's what the movie does. I think that they
okay.
did that so that because it's less about exactly how much money he leaves them and more about the impact on them, because he didn't only leave the girls money, he left Manly money as well, or at least the estate, right?
Hmm.
um I think that they really wanted to drive home the emotion of the moment because they were
That
really
makes sense.
distraught that he had passed away. Like, they were genuinely hurt. They had really
Yeah,
connected with him.
yeah, and then
um
mind you, the nephew just rolled up in there whistling, talking about just ready to get paid. Like I was just like,
exactly.
wow. But unfortunately, that's very accurate to the culture. You know what I mean? Like people, they
White
don't.
culture. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's very no, it's true. I mean,
I
like
mean,
no, it's the
hey,
truth. They
I'll
really
say, I'll
don't.
say, I'll say, wealthy folk culture, maybe.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, just rich culture in general, because like what I mean. There's a lot of rich people that they don't, and nobody messes with them. They don't, they can't trust nobody. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? And that's above color. Like, you know what I mean? That's just having money. That's just having money in general.
Come
You
on,
know
I'm
what I
trying to
mean?
give them the benefit of the doubt. Not everybody of that ilk is wealthy.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but at the end of the day, like never let a ninja know how much dough you hold. If he's effed up, you get stuck up. So
D
anyway,
E D TA. Don't trust
Yeah,
anybody. With
that's
that, we're going to take a break
think
right
correctly, man.
fast, guys. We're going to come right back here on Unpop Review Entertainment, give our thumbs ups, our thumbs downs, our final thoughts. I mean, she loves this movie. I did not hear the
It's a good ass movie.
It wasn't bad,
passion.
bro.
It's a good.
It wasn't
passion.
It's. I'm
Like,
not gonna.
passion.
Listen, man.
I'll give
You
it.
got Heavy
I'll
D.
give it.
You got LL Cool J.
Yeah, the
Come
casting,
on,
man.
man. You got Bernie
The
Mac.
casting.
Come on,
Bernie
man.
Mac wasn't even Bernie Mac name, but we'll be right back, y'all. Unpop Review.
If you want to fight this man, that's your business. But don't pretend this is about your father.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. That kid was raised in hate. It's dangerous. He broke things in me that ain't never been fixed. It ain't worth it.
If we don't do what we love, then we wouldn't exist.
It's time, kid.
Okay, this is what I wanted to know.
Sure, let's talk
Who
about it.
is the Hulk's baby mama? Who is laying it down on the Hulk and got pregnant? Who is it?
I don't know, but I
Ain't
want
Black Widow.
God.
It's
It's the sister. It's the sister.
It's the sister.
I mean, it's somebody that could take his blood. So, yep.
The cousin?
Yo,
You know what? You
Ali,
said something.
man.
I'm going to be really immature. Vic said something really
Los
funny.
primos se prima.
Yes.
Vic, you said something really hilarious. You said someone who takes his blood. I think someone who could really take something else from the Hulk because, golly.
It's the cousin. I'm telling you, Disney Plus is on some agenda.
Hey, Corey.
Man, it's the third cousin that he met at the cookout. You know?
Facts.
That's what it is.
Let us know in the comments who the Hulk's baby mama is. Who is his baby mom? If you know, let us know in the comments.
They call the Hulk the green swing. That's what they call her.
Bobby Boucher was a lonely boy.
Everybody else got friend, mama. I just want some too.
You don't have what they call the social skills.
Only joy was his job.
I'm a water boy.
Until one day,
must be something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
He discovered his special gift. Now,
play football for this team.
The world will feel his pain. The Water Boy.
We're back. Tonight we're reviewing BAPS. BAPS. That's BAPS, not Babs, but BAPS.
This is our buddy movie.
This is our buddy movie
series we just went through. This is the last one in our buddy movie series, I believe. Though we got our still doing the Rocky franchise. Coming up next will be Police Academy.
Oh yeah,
the D, not a T, y'all.
He picked that, by the way.
That's right. It's gonna be popping.
So
you guys have already touched on why I selected this movie, but as a bonus, I'm gonna just recount a couple of the themes of this film. Once again, Black women, Black girl uninterrupted. Usually the interruption is lack of wealth, lack of access, and this movie addresses that immediately. Reparations. Hello? Let's rehash that conversation, because why we stopped talking about it? We was talking about it for a while when Barack was in office. We was talking about it for a while even when Trump was in office. There was a hearing or two. What's going on with that? Ta-Nehisi Coates, get on it. 3, connection. Okay, this movie addresses connection very well. This wealthy elderly gentleman and his loyal butler, Alfred, aka Manley. Really, to me, they didn't have much of a relationship at this point before the ladies came to Niecy and Mickey. It just was kind of, top down with them. But when these young ladies came in the house, they reinvigorated everyone in the house, including the wait staff. Who they were a joy, honestly. Black joy Black joy, something we don't get enough of in Black films without, I don't know, a robbery gone wrong or someone doing jail time. You know what I'm saying? It's just someone getting shot or slavery, something like that. I need some Black joy, and this movie definitely gives me that. And once again, to me, it spearheaded the idea and concept of buddy comedies with Black women, because we're our own friends. Okay, the sisters, it's us against the world. All right. So if you hadn't guessed it already, it's a thumbs up for me. For BAPS, a thumbs up from me to you.
That brings it to me.
Yes, it does.
And that makes me say, damn, this movie had just their scenes when she made the boys sing in the restaurant. And my man, the waiter, was like, my man Barry from the comedy show was like, yo, that's it. She saw Leon when they saw LL Cool J. This movie is funny. This movie is just funny, as stupid as it looks, as much as I hated how they talk. I've never been a fan of our culture speaking a certain kind of way. I don't like my friends and family that's down in Atlanta and talk a certain way just because they choose to talk that way when you know to speak English. The word is for, not foe. And I get sometimes I may say foe and not for, but I just don't like it. And
what
so
about funna?
That's what about what?
Funna.
What funna?
Funna, like gunna.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. No, I don't even know. Like cap, like just in general, how they. I've never. That's always turned me off. But I can truly say, watching this movie when that's turned me off, it's a thumbs up. It's a comedy. I say, know what you're going to watch, right? It doesn't have to be a literal. Like I loved Disorderly. It's about a fat boys. It's not a great, storyline of a movie, but it was a funny, entertaining movie. This movie was funny, and this movie was entertaining. And the fact they had them hairdos on the airplane, it's like, I'm sorry, can you lower your hair? Like, it just had so many funny parts where I thought it was gonna be a stupid, dumb movie, and although it was a stupid, dumb movie, it's made to be a stupid, dumb comedy movie with a purpose, and it gave me that. So thumbs up for me. And Vic,
Yo, when she smacked the dude with the head 3 times, and she had me rolling. She kept Bob, and the guy. I just kept looking at the guy in the side.
I'm gonna quit you if you don't hurry up. And I don't think he would just say finna. Finna's a regular word.
This movie was hilarious. I mean, like I said before, man, it was all, now that we found what are we gonna do with it? That's what this was about, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I like the whole thing. How the guy came back at the end of the movie. But you know how they pretty much just. I mean, look. At the end of the day, there was a lot of morals to the story here. I mean, it was funny, it was hilarious, it was ridiculous, but there was a nice, like she was like Hannah Young. You know what I mean? The girl had a good heart. She didn't want to take money. She had a whole bunch of times where she could take money, and then she looked at the man's humanity. She didn't look at him as a rich white man. She just looked at him as a nice guy that was enjoying his last days with them. And I'm sure that people could relate to that, can appreciate that. So I'll give this a thumbs up.
People.
Shout out to Heavy D, man. You rest in peace.
May rest in peace. Leave it for you to always find the heart, soul, felt of a movie. I love that.
It was fun. It was fun.
It's a comedy. You're like, yeah, that story was so great and deep.
It was. I can appreciate a good storytelling.
I got you.
Sometimes
I got you.
These comedies have
sometimes it's the simplest things that matter. And that is fair. That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
So what we got coming up later down the pipeline is that, does this end our buddy movie for the genre? Okay, and up next is Police Academy. So please, guys, like, follow, subscribe. Please. Follow, like, subscribe. Again, follow, like, subscribe. Follow, like, subscribe. All right. There it is. We're out of here. Any final words?
Share.
Lady Star.
I don't. Yeah. In this climate, us doing Police Academy is amazing. It's incredible. That's it.
It's gonna be great.